Hi everybody. I want to make a nice contrasty small little bowl. So I have here a piece of mahogany. I've been keeping them on for a while. And an old piece of ash that was from a table that I built many, many years ago. You can even see the dowels here and some holes that I had here for the screws or however I used to make them. I'm not even sure what I did there. I took it apart, sliced it up, and I sanded it down. This is my original banding over here, and I think it's a beautiful piece. I wanted to do something out of it for a bowl. So the problem is, it's a very flat piece, and so what did I do? So after some measurements, I cut down my piece of mahogany into 3 separate pieces, and from this I can make a square, perfect square. It's like 8 centimeters high, around 13 and a half wide, and then I'm going to glue these pieces of ash that I cut off of the main piece over here. So what's my main idea? After I make it into a circle, I want to have the white pieces on the side, and I want to have the brown from the mahogany coming out of the corner. So how did I measure these pieces? Because this ash here is a very, very thin piece. And when I round it out, I have to be very careful not to go in 2 sides, or I will lose all of my ash. So I just took a life-size circle with my scriber here, scribed it in, and then I marked, if you can see the marks here, where the pieces of wood would have to be on the outside of my bowl, right, in order to round it out and get it and maximize it. So if you look carefully over here, right over here, is going to be where when I make the round bowl, this area will show brown, this area should show white, brown, white, etc. All right, welcome back everybody. Took off all my clamps. I'm now going to glue this to the top here, but I got to sand this down. I'll use 60, 80, 120 with my orbital sander, and then I'm also going to glue this on the bottom, which will be my footer. So, and I'm going to use my other sander for that. Let's get going. So I took off all the clamps, as you can see here. Took my scriber, made a very kind of rough circle around it, added some pencil marks, and I'm going to cut this down on the bandsaw. Alright, I'm taking my 9mm drill bit, carefully drilling the hole in the middle. Let's make sure I'm straight either way. Alright, so after a bunch of turning, which I'm not going to show you because a lot of people better than me at turning, I had a problem. If you notice right over here, there's a piece of metal. This is an old screw from this recycled piece of ash that I used. So this is why I have these weird, kind of like, I don't, not beads, but these weird coves in here. Because the only way to get it out was to actually use a piece of sandpaper, because I can't put my tools in here. So initially I tried to dig it out and pull it out, but then I realized the screw was from the inside out. So I couldn't just pull it out towards this direction. And I can't go on the inside enough to get it out either. So anyway, so then I figured out what I can do. I can take very rough sandpaper. This is from a belt sander, so it's like 40 grit a belt sander. And I simply went this and this and this and this and this and this. Right. So I ended up with something like this, and this is my almost final version before the final sanding. Now, if you'd also notice over here too, I got this weird thing over here. Again, this was recycled wood, so I totally forgot about which was how deep in. So here I had an old piece of dowel, an old dowel in here. So I filled it in a little bit. Not really sure. I should have. And I'll put this in the back so you don't really see it, but then I have this in the front. So